All right, so again, step one, look for the GCF. If the leading coefficient is negative, you'll factor out the negative. Step two, count the number of terms. If there's two terms, we did a difference of 2 squares. A squared minus B squared factors into A plus B times A minus B. Well, we do 3 terms, and that's what we're going to do today. So on the next slide, there's going to be a series of problems. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 with you. Then I'm going to pause and let you do the rest of them. We'll kind of check them together, and then I'm going to give you homework, and it'll be on what we did yesterday, GCF, difference of 2 squares, and then the trinomials with the 1 in front of the x squareds. All right, everybody got it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So, again, I know there's a lot of problems on here, but they'll go quickly. So, number 1, write down x squared plus 4x minus 5. So don't forget about step 1. Look for the GCF. And I don't have a GCF, and the leading coefficient is a positive 1. So here's what you do with the trinomials today. And then on Tuesday, when we meet again, we're going to put a number in front and go over how we do that. But here's kind of when it's a 1x squared. You look for 2 numbers that multiply to negative 5, but add to positive 4. So can you think of 2 numbers that multiply to negative 5? So that means one of them's positive and one of them's negative. George?
5 times negative 1.
Yeah, there you go. So you're going to put a positive 5 and a minus 1. I cannot say this enough. Check your work, because if you accidentally put minus 5 and plus 1, when you checked it, you would catch it. X times x is x squared. The outer is negative 1x. The inner is plus 5x. That adds up to 4x. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. All right, let's do number 2. There's no GCF, and the leading coefficient is positive, so I'm ready to start. So I'm going to put an x and an x. I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to positive 42, but add up to positive 13. So can you think of 2 numbers that do that? 6 and 7. Check your work when you factor. And I don't mind if you check in your head. You don't have to write it out, but some of you might feel better if you write out the check. X times x is x squared. 7x plus 6x, 13x. 6 times 7 is 42. All right, now put a circle around number 3 for me. What's different about number 3? There's a negative as my leading coefficient. So your first step must be factor out the negative sign. When you factor that out, okay, because we don't know how to do it with a negative x squared, because you can't put xx in, and it's kind of confusing. So it's easier, okay, I'm trying to make your lives easier if we factor it out. Notice that's a plus x now, and a minus 12. And if you want to put a 1, put the 1. Now, I leave that negative out front, and I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to negative 12. So you guys, we're going back to maybe 3rd and 4th grade math here. If you're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to a negative, 1 is positive and 1 is negative. And the bigger number gives you the middle sign. So you know it's 4 and 3, right? But then the 4 is the positive and 3 is the minus, because the plus was in the middle. So the bigger out of 4 and 3 has to go there. But check it. X times x is x squared. Negative 3x plus 4x is a positive 1x. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. All right, I'm going to pause for just a few minutes. Do as many of them as you can while I'm waiting. Just remember, in number 5 and 7, let's put circles around them, you have to factor the negative. start. Keep working, but just check them. Number 4, I got x minus 4 times x minus 4. Did you get that? Number 5, I have to first factor out the negative. Okay, remember that. If the leading coefficient is negative, then this is x minus 5 times x minus 11. Question, does it matter if I do x minus 11 first or second? Does it matter the order? No, that's called the commutative property. Like 3 times 5 is the same as 5 times 3. So if I put x minus 11 first or second, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Why is it minus 11 and not plus 11?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Because I needed to multiply to a positive 55.
Also, wait, but hold on. But you have the negative outside of it, so it wouldn't be x plus 5 and then x plus 11.
No, because I factored the negative out. When I pulled this negative out, do you see that gave me minus 16x and a plus 55? So what happens inside is unrelated to the negative outside.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh.
Okay, yeah, it's like, it's just out there, and now I'm factoring that inside. Good question. All right, number 6, I got x plus 8 times x minus 6. Number 7, I'm going to factor out the negative, so be careful on this one. When I factor out the negative, I have a negative y squared that becomes minus 17y plus 72. So that's y minus 8 and y minus 9, but don't lose the negative out front. Then 8 is x plus 4, x plus 3. And, okay, now wait a minute. 12 is 4 times 3, but that doesn't add up to an 8. So what do you do?
Negative 6 times negative 2.
Oh, okay. 4 times 3 is 12, but so is 6 times 2. And isn't 1 times 12? Like this could have a 13 in the middle, right? So when you're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to 12, you've got to go through the whole list of possibilities. So a minus 6 and a minus 2 works. All right, what questions do you have on any of the problems up here?